Welcome back to the Westminster Dog Show. My name's Jacob Ferguson. Today we're going to be talking about RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars 10, Episode 9. The Queens had to do improv about a golden bachelor, and category on the runway was paper dolls. The special guest judge this week was Mayan Lopez, George Lopez's daughter. And let's just get into it, I guess. It is the final episode of Bracket 3, and next week is the merge. I could not be more excited because, honestly, this season has felt kind of like a slog to get through. It's only been 9 weeks. It's only been, well, technically 8 weeks. It's only really been 8 weeks since this episode started, this season started. But, it has been kind of a slogfest, not gonna lie. Just a lot of the same thing happening over and over again. I will say it's better paced than All Stars 9 was. All Stars 9 had no stakes. This one has stakes, but the problem is that we're getting to the point where it's like we've finally made it to the merge, and now we're going to start eliminating people. It kind of feels anticlimactic. If there had been 2 queens moving forward, then it would kind of feel like, ooh, what we doing? Because then it's just another group of 6. And we get down to a number that is actually great. Because now we got 8 queens in the finale that we got to get through. Which I don't necessarily live for. I kind of am like, really? Okay, fine. The wild card bracket queen is going to be, when they announce the top 7, she's going to come in. It's probably going to be I don't know. I'm hoping for somebody who was good, or like a Nicole Page Brooks or a Phoenix, a gag. But I know it's going to be somebody who the fandom either loves or who they have, the producers have love for. So it's probably going to be like Deja Sky or somebody like that, which, based on merit, sure. Let's talk about this season, because I got to give my opinions about every single queen on this bracket, because it's the final time that we're going to be seeing at least 2 of them, if not all 3. At least for a while now. So what's tea? What's good? What are we doing? Well, I think it's safe to say that this bracket was kind of the leftovers bracket. It was kind of the who's who of who was available. And speaking of which, that's kind of how All Stars 11, its cast kind of feels like. I'm going to try some of these. Do I want the Verde or do I want the Rojo? Got these Tingles hot ones here. Kind of want to try them. Let me try the Rojo ones. Eh. I don't know why, I just wanted to try these. And it's just straight up hot sauce. Jesus Christ. Oh. I kind of live. I kind of live for it. It has like a little garlicky thing. What else is it? Dry potatoes, which, yellow cornmeal, maltodextrin. I can't read. Paprika for color. I've been watching a lot of those TikTok videos of watch what you eat with your food, and it's yeah, I get that, but also, what do you mean 14 crisps? We're not in England. Anyway, let's talk about the challenge now. The queens enter the workroom after the lip sync with Denali, which apparently she ran off from off stage for. Honestly, the way that she explained it, was that she needed space. She was holding space for her emotions, and so she did, and was able to congratulate Ginger Minj. I personally think that Ginger deserved to win that lip sync, but again, to each their own. Alyssa immediately just says, Ginger, I think Denali won that lip sync. And Ginger Minj is not too pleased with that. And this bracket has had no drama the entire time. And then now all of a sudden it's like, oh, here comes in Alyssa. Time to make her the bad guy for some reason. And she's not the bad guy. I think that she is just opinionated. And she has a right to her opinion. Anyway, it's time to give out the points. And Cynthia gives her point out to Diabetti. Well, technically Diabetti does give her point out first, but Cuckoo gives hers to Diabetti. And then all the other three queens give theirs to Cynthia Lee Fontaine. All of them. And it's because, outside of filming the show, which they did, Cynthia was kind of the best person on the cast. She was checking in with everybody. She was Miss Congeniality Boots the house down. And everybody loved her. Dia shared a thing that when they were getting ready for the girl group challenge, she was up sewing their outfits. And Cynthia told one of the producers to give her some cookies and to give her some soda to keep her blood sugar up because she has diabetes. So it doesn't surprise me that Cynthia got all these points. And I live for that. I think that Cynthia didn't have a strategy going into it, but now she kind of created her own strategy of being kind and being nice and not really playing games and getting to the top that way. Which I live for. She's now in second place behind Ginger, who has 6 points. Now, Diabetti has a problem, and that problem is Alyssa Hunter. She gets so upset with Alyssa Hunter because Alyssa said that she was going to give her point to the queen, who she thought did the best that week, or deserved it. And Dia thought that meant that she was going to give it to her. So when she gave it to Cynthia, who I do agree with did better than Dia that week, Dia got mad. But then Dia tries to backtrack because Cynthia is there, and again, Cynthia gave her Coke and cookies and soda and sugary food and stuff like that to keep her blood sugar up, and realizes, oh, no, it's not about you. I just feel like I deserved a point. And it's like, who cares? Who cares? Who cares? I don't care. Do you care? I don't care. But this is going to be the main conflict of the season. Ginger feels like crap because Alyssa made her feel like crap. And we all exit the workroom. We come back in the next day, and they're still going at it. They're still going up on a Tuesday. And the bell could not come soon enough because RuPaul announces this week's Maxi Challenge, The Golden Bachelor, which, I thought was going to be, they were going to have to play old people. And I was like, yeah, you can do some comedy with these old people type stuff, you know? I would have loved if they did this again, have a parody of the Golden Girls, have the slutty one, have the stupid one, and then be Arthur and the mom, and her mom, and they have to go on a double date, and then in the end they choose the mom. It'd just be weird. But instead, they said, what about dogs? Woof woof brigade people. Instead of getting to choose their groups, they were assigned pairs, which I get, I guess, but also, what is production trying to do? We had Acid and Cynthia, Denali and Dia, and Ginger and Alyssa. Now, what I think is that they paired the queens with queens that they hadn't worked with yet. Because Acid and Cynthia hadn't worked together yet. They were on opposite teams. Dia and Denali hadn't worked together yet. They were on opposite teams. And Ginger and Alyssa hadn't worked together yet. They were on opposite teams. So, I guess that's kind of like how they did it. Though I'm kind of tired of the pairings up on these things, you know? It's fine, but it's not fine. So, we have Acid Betty playing a Doberman, who is a dominatrix. We have Cynthia Lee Fontaine playing a Chihuahua. We have Denali playing a King Charles Spaniel. Dia Betty, who is playing a Poodle. Alyssa Hunter, who is playing a Mutt. And Ginger Minch, who is playing a Saint Bernard. And I gotta say, all these dog breeds are iconic. Again, my brother has a dog named Nobis, who I love. He also has a dog named Wesley, who I loathe, but, like, Wesley's okay. He's great. Love Wesley. When he's quiet. There's Nobis. There's my little man. I love Nobis. Nobis is my favorite dog. Lina's cool, too. They got 3 dogs. Lina's amazing. She's, like, the most dog out of all of them. I live for her. And Wesley's good. I know that they watch this. I don't want to be too cruel on Wesley, but he's good when he wants to be, which is not often, but still, he's a great dog. But Nobis is my favorite. Nobis is my man. Love him. Anyway, I love all these dog breeds. Let's talk about these scenes. We got the Golden Retriever Bachelor played by Zane Phillips. I don't know who he is. They said something about Fire Island. Mama, I didn't watch that. I didn't watch it. But honestly, I think he was kind of an upgrade from Jeffrey Boyer Chapman. I'm gonna be completely real with you. I think he was a bit of an upgrade from Jeffrey Boyer Chapman. And I also like how RuPaul didn't hit on him. But I also wish that RuPaul was a dog. You know how he got into full fairy drag for the, or elf drag, I guess, for the courtroom stuff on All Stars 7? I kind of wish that he'd gotten into drag, like dog. What type of dog breed would RuPaul be? Honestly, he'd probably be one of those, like, greyhounds with the long legs. Yeah, Michelle would definitely be a poodle. RuPaul wouldn't be a poodle. RuPaul would definitely be a either a greyhound, because Carson's one of those, like, long-snouted, like, whippets. And Ross is like a mini French bulldog. Like, he would have been a bulldog, like, before the weight loss, but now he's like a tiny French bulldog, like the ones with the good ears. And Michelle's a poodle. Michelle has to be a poodle. I feel like T.S. Madison. T.S. Madison and LaRoche, I don't know yet. I'll get back to you on that once I figure it out. Because I don't want to say something and then be like, LaRoche is definitely a border collie. But T.S. Madison, one of those, like, Shiba Inu things, but no. One of, like, really, like, puffy, fuzzy ones that can live out in cold climates. Because I feel like T.S. Madison would be a fun person to like go on a skiing trip with, but you don't ski. You just ride the thing up and down in your little winter things, and then you go, I'm too cold, let's sit by the fire. Anyway. First, I guess we should talk about the runways and the scene. Before we get into the runways, we got more diabetic Alyssa Hunter drama that nobody wanted. And I like that there's drama. I just wish that it wasn't this, like, delusional drama. You know, when Mistress entered the room, she commanded the drama there. And she was able to twist the narrative, and there was always constant drama, and it stressed everybody out. Olivia just being in a bad mood was the drama of Bracket 1. Bracket 3 is just Dia kind of being delusional. And I love Diabetic, but she was a little bit delusional here. Everybody's getting ready for the runway. Alyssa keeps on calling Diabetic a bitch. And it's like, you said it once on your season, and like, it was funny. But now it's like, it's too, you keep on doing it like it's gonna mean something, and it doesn't. Because she's a bitch with 3 points. Well, technically 4 points right now, because she's tied with Denali. Meanwhile, Alyssa only has 1 point. And I think that Alyssa knew after episode 2 that she was not going to make it past the merge. And we'll get into it when we talk about the queens. But writing is on the wall, and she knows this, and she's just trying to defend herself. Dia goes over to Cynthia, starts talking with Cynthia, and Cynthia's like, at this point, y'all need to stop the drama. So she pulls out her chancleta and proceeds to go ham on everybody. And I live for that. I was like, get them. Get them together, Cynthia. Alyssa and Ginger, I guess, got together and were fine. But honestly, I wish that they had showed more of their dynamic. I wish that they had showed more of everybody's dynamic. Because right now, it's Cynthia's Mother God. Dia and Alyssa are mad at each other. And the rest of them are just kind of there. Acid is kind of turning over a new leaf, but we're not seeing that. Like, we're seeing it in the workroom, but we're not seeing, like, how the interpersonal relationships play out. Because nobody is caring for each other. We don't really get a whole lot of conversation. I kind of wish that Cynthia would have, that Ginger would have interactions with Alyssa. Or with, Dia and Ginger are good friends, but it's constantly Diabetic being the center of kind of everything. And that's fine. But it's kind of like, I want to see the personal relationships between Ginger and Alyssa, Ginger and Denali, and there's just not time for it. Let's get into the runway looks and category on the runway. It's paper dolls, and we're going to talk about everybody. First, Alyssa Hunter. I forgot. Shit. I'm changing out of these anyway. I have work in like... It's 10:48. I gotta leave in about 3 hours, so it should be fine. First is Alyssa Hunter, and I did not get a good image of this. But, it's paper dolls. So Alyssa's... I guess we're talking about Alyssa and Ginger's group first. Alyssa's mutt performance, was bad. It was bad. And the reason that it was bad is I don't think that she knew where to go with it. I also want to try these, like, Verde ones, so I am going to put this up. This. Try it. Yes, I brought 2 of them into my bedroom. king can't eat in bed. I'm not a king. Am I, seashell? Hi. You wanna come here? No? Come here. Maybe it's because I ate those first, and the tingle is still hitting from these. These aren't as hot as the other ones were. They're still good though. I kind of prefer these over these ones because those ones go, pow, and these have kind of a soft burn. No. I'll be back to those later. But Alyssa's mutt really didn't pop. Hi, Marcy. I think that was the problem, especially with a powerhouse like Ginger. They really set her up with giving her nothing, which is kind of sad. I kind of wish that they had given her some sort of like, if it had been her and say Dia or Acid, it probably would have been much more of an even dogfight. No pun intended. But considering that it was Alyssa versus Ginger, it was like the strongest link versus the weakest one. I'm gonna be real with you. Alyssa was a bold choice for this season of All Stars. I don't think it worked out, but we'll get into that. The runway. It is a Puerto Rican. It's part of her Puerto Rican heritage. I love it. In the challenge, it's a crunch, but this look, looks good. It looks good. I like the different colors. She looks like a swimming pool in the best way. I'm gonna put a lid on this, I think. Since I'm getting kind of, ate too much. But this look is a definite cream. In fact, all the looks here are probably going to be creams, to be completely real with you. Up next is Ginger Minge. This is what she looks like. And let's talk about this runway look. This is my favorite runway look Ginger has probably ever worn. It is Elizabethan. It is a testament to Shakespeare. It's great. I'm going to be right back. I'm going to grab some water because, Jesus Christ, my tongue is on fire. Ugh. It was too much. It's too much spice for me right now. Trying to talk and stuff, the saliva is just being produced. Come here, Seashell. Come here. You want to see the people? She does this. I think her food bowl is... One of the food bowls is empty. She has 3. And she's looking at me like, fill my food bowl, please. You got 2 more food bowls that I checked this morning that were full. Go eat out of them. No? Okay. Anyway, Ginger's runway was very great. I loved the just everything about it. It was the Shakespeare quotes and stuff. I don't necessarily like it when queens put words on their thing, even if it's like the Pope is fabulous or call me Ishmael or stuff. I don't necessarily enjoy that because it's too fine of a print to read. But honestly, she did a great job, and this look is very, very cool. I disagree with Michelle when she talked about the Marie Antoinette era stuff, because I'm like, what do you expect these drag queens to do? If they want to provide a historical reference, they're probably going to go, yes, Marie Antoinette. And I think that they should have an entire Marie Antoinette category just to piss Michelle off more. This look is a cream. And in the challenge, she did the best. The thing is that she was like Binta Creme in the challenge, where she was constantly just like the cougar. You know, she was a dog, but she was a cougar. She was drunk, she was great. She was drinking out of a barrel flask, which was iconic of her. And on the double date, when Alyssa was talking about a stepfather, and she goes, "Have you ever had a 12-step father?" The best. The best line of the entire thing. And the problem is, Ginger knows how to do drag race, right? She knows what's going to make RuPaul laugh, and she knows how to be funny. And her scene partner didn't. So that elevated Ginger's performance that much more. It is a cream. Next up, Denali. This look is an absolute serve, though I will be completely real with you. I loved the... she said the name of the spirit, and I love that. I love the fox spirit on her back. Dress is a bit basic. I think that she could have... Well, okay, here's the thing. You want to kind of straddle the line of it not being too much, but also being a runway. And the thing on her back, which I know she said it in the thing, and I'm sorry, I don't remember what she called it, was kind of the focal point. But I feel like she could have had something going on down at the bottom. Maybe something, so that way, if you took away the fox demon, it'd be a pretty dress. I don't necessarily think that is what Drag Race, what Runway on Drag Race is anymore. It's not just a pretty dress. It's, drag. It's a cream, though. As the King Charles Spaniel, I get kind of what they were saying, but let me rephrase that. What I believe they were trying to say is that at the beginning, Denali wasn't quite hitting the mark where it needed to be hit. Her British accent was funny, but she kind of was like all over the place a bit at the beginning during the introduction. I feel like she could have been sort of like clinging to Zayn a bit more, maybe get him like a do you need to be protected and all of that sort of stuff, when it's actually her that needs protecting. But once she got into the hot tub, it was great. That being said, I really wish that she and Daya would have committed and started making out. Because there was the sexual tension between her and Daya's character was great. And I kind of wish that they had been like disqualified from the Bachelor, like as a thing, because they fell in love with each other. Like they proceeded to start like making out and stuff. I feel like that would have changed the scene, and maybe had put her in the top over maybe Daya. I mean, she and Daya could have had really, really great chemistry. So it was a cream, though I will say I do understand what they were talking about with her performance. Next up, Dot Betty. Bug. It's the B movie. She does look like the daughter of Barry B. Benson and whoever Renee Zellweger played in that come to life. She looks fabulous. It's a cream. The paper aspect is the like little epaulet things. I don't know what you call them. Little egg things, I guess, that are going all the way down her body and through this and all that. I kind of wish that she had done maybe a beehive instead of just a fucking guy from Lazy Town flip up do. Maybe a beehive with like the stingers and stuff, and it would have been cool. Especially since there's a lot going on around the neck. A beehive would have like elevated it up and then away, so that way the neck could have been more clear and stuff like that. But this is a cream. Diana's performance, again, it's a cream. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the way that she was able to fully like embrace her character. She was the poodle. She was the bitch. Dia, you are the bitch, as Alyssa would say. But again, I wish that they had fully committed to the character, like thing and done like fell for each other, because there was that chemistry there. But it was a cream. She did a good job. Next up, Acid Betty. This is the cream of the week for me. I love this. On the back, it says "Burn the Patriarchy" or like whatever, it was something along the line, something French Revolution. I don't care that it's Marie Antoinette. It's iconic. I love her. I love Acid Betty for doing this. In the challenge, she had the Betty Page, like haircut. She had this dominatrix, like whip smart type of thing to her. When she said "sit," people sat. Like, it was great. And I feel like this was much better than the acting challenge that she did on her season. But B, she just owned the stage, and with this look, this is two creams. I really enjoyed it. Cynthia Lee Fontaine. Let's go to her. This look is a cream, and I'm mad at the judges for disliking it. Looking at it, I can kind of see where they were coming from. But I really wish that Cynthia had had the chance to explain why the ribbon was there. Because it's for liver cancer. She had liver cancer. And is in remission and beat it. And is able to do what she does now better than what she used to. Because she was able to overcome the cancer and beat it. I think that they missed out on that storyline telling. I can kind of see where they were coming from. Maybe if the ribbon was a bit smaller on the shoulders, and maybe if there was more cohesion with the ribbon and the party streamers and stuff. But it's still a good look. It's a cream. And I also liked the Chihuahua. I like that she didn't go Miss Beverly Hills Chihuahua on it. You know, she didn't go ay arriba and all of the stereotypes that, you know, Beverly Hills Chihuahua used to did, and you know, all of that jazz. What I liked about Cynthia is that she went more blessed be like missionary, like a Spanish missionary. I think that was just a serve. I loved also, you know, you got the dominatrix and you got the horrified, you know, like religious person and having to interact on the same date with one another. It's a cream. I enjoyed it. So Queens go to untuck. We have more arguments. Diabetes talks for constantly just. And Denali can't get a word in edgewise. Acid Betty's getting upset with Diabetes. Ginger looks like she just wants to go get some snacks, which same. If I was in that workroom, I would constantly have food. Because I'm a hungry bitch, and I eat while I work. Well, okay, not technically. I don't eat while I'm on the job, but like if I'm doing something like a hobby or something, I'm snacking. Because snacking's also one of my other hobbies. You know, while I've been filming this, I've been eating. You know, also it's my breakfast. But, you know, breakfast of champions here. But, Yeah, so I did watch Untucked, and I do enjoy Untucked because it's just kind of iconic to see everybody like fighting for their lives almost. Let's talk about the lip sync. So the top two are Ginger Minj and Dia Betty. I personally would have put Ginger Minj and Acid Betty up there. Maybe Cynthia Lee Fontaine. If they had liked her outfit more, then yes. Seashell, don't do that. But Dia Betty's in the top with Ginger Minj, and the lip sync is Mama Used to Say by Junior. I'm going to be completely real. Who decided that this was the lip sync that needed to happen? Glad that it did happen, but who said, yep, this is a lip sync song? And then I realized something. It's one of RuPaul's songs. RuPaul probably has this on some sort of album that he listens to in his mansion, in his little disco room. Okay, good. My schedule has been updated. In his little room, dancing to it, yeah. But this lip sync was good. Dia Betty kind of tore, not gonna lie. Ginger did okay, but it was more of the same. Dia Betty kind of like got into when she did Respect that one time. She got into the groove of it. She got into the soul of it. I think that's why she won and why it worked out for her. So Dia Betty has 6 points. Ginger Minj has 8 points. So Ginger and Dia get to go on to the grand finale. So let's talk about Dia first. Dia's competition for me was she came in there not really wanting to be a bitch, but the problem is that her storyline on season 14 was just being the bitch and proving herself and constantly proving herself to RuPaul to keep her there. And I think that here she's just coming back and going, this is me, this is real, this is me, this is exactly who I'm supposed to be, now let the light shine on me. You know, she's like, I'm here, and it was not a mistake to bring me back, and I'm going to show you with good fashion, good-ish challenge performances. I honestly think that she deserved her top spot the first week, and then this week I'm not quite sure, but hey, she did her big one. She did good. I also like the relationships that she made with Ginger and Cynthia. I think that is fabulous. But I feel like her central plot was more focused on Alyssa than anybody else. And for that, Dia Betty gets to move forward. Ginger Minj, let's talk about her. Everybody hated Ginger. Everybody hates Ginger now. You know, I can't go 5 minutes on Twitter without some person with like a Bosco image or a Lydia image, hashtag Team Lydia, in their profile go, and another thing, when Ginger Minj getting favored? And she was favored. I'm gonna be completely real with you. Ginger Minj has been favored from episode 1 to episode 3. Every single thing that they have done, she has excelled at. But that doesn't make her a bad drag queen. It sucks because Ginger was the best part of you know, like she has done well in every single aspect of Drag Race, except for maybe design. But even then, she's placed in the top for it. She's done exceptionally well a lot of the time. So it sucks when you have when you come back for your 4th time, and everybody's like, It's not a Jujubee type situation where Jujubee didn't do that great and for her 4th time around, but was kept until the top 4. Ginger Minj has proven why she is good at Drag Race. And I feel like if people took the hate they were giving her and just said, you know what, it's fine. But here's the thing. Ginger Minj's love comes at the price of somebody who, these twinks actually give a shit about. Right? Like, Lydia, Bosco were heavily favored on their season. Irene was heavily favored this season. But nobody talked about that because Irene was, new to all of this. Everybody was like, yeah, Irene. And honestly, besides episode 1 of her bracket, the 2 challenges that she did win, I think she deserved. But at the same time, I was like, oh, she's heavily favored. Lydia and Georges have been heavily favored. I don't think Georgia should have won either one of her episodes. It should have been Mistress and Nicole, and then Lydia and Carrie. But of course, RuPaul loves Georges, but everybody loves Georges, so that's okay. And with, Lydia, everybody loves Lydia. To the point where it's kind of creepy. Please stop. So Ginger definitely slayed this season. And while I agree with all of her wins, I think that she deserves them. Maybe you could make a thing that Cynthia should have been in the top over Ginger on the Stage Group Challenge. I love Ginger Minj, and I love the fact that we're getting to see her again. So with that, her run gets the cream. It's great. I love her. The only thing about it is that her runways are a bit hit and miss. When she hits, like the first and third episodes, she really hits. When she misses, like during the Miley Cyrus runway, she misses hard. So I love Ginger. I'm so glad that she's made the merge. Queens get to vote. And just like episode 1, every queen gets a point. Denali, so first up is Cynthia. She gives her point to Alyssa. Denali then gives her point to Acid Betty. Alyssa gives her point to Denali. And now we're tied. Denali has 4 points. Cynthia has 4 points. And I just said everybody gets a point. Fuck, I ruined it. Acid Betty. Looking at Denali. Looking at Cynthia. Trolley problem. Everybody's fan favorite Mexican twink who ice skates. Or the best miscongeniality we've ever had. Acid Betty chooses Cynthia Lee Fontaine. And I couldn't be happier. I'm just like, I was smiling like the Cheshire Cat. I was so happy for Cynthia. Because honestly, the bitch has been through cancer. Okay, Denali ice skates. Denali's gonna be fine. Denali has an army of twinks that would literally die for her. Cynthia Lee Fontaine gets to move on. Let's talk about Cynthia then. She gets to move on to the merge. So, congratulations, Cynthia. Let's talk about her. I think that this season was just for her to be like, I feel good. I'm here to make everybody feel good. I am like Glinda at the beginning of Wicked. Let us be glad, let us be grateful. I know that there's some problems with that context because Glinda was not feeling glad or grateful. But, Cynthia is here. And she is here to show the world why she's the best miscongeniality we've ever had. To be fair, I've never heard somebody with a negative thing to say about Cynthia Lee Fontaine. Everybody loves Cynthia. Everybody loves her. And that is why she won Miss Congeniality, and that is why she should have won Miss Congeniality on All Stars 9, but of course Valentina fan favorite, all that jazz. The point I'm trying to make, Cynthia Lee Fontaine had 1 to 2 on the runway, but in the challenges she was consistently good. I think that she could have won Stage Cooch. I wouldn't have minded Denali and Cynthia being in the top there, but she wasn't. She is proof that being kind gets you places. because she didn't. She could have just as easily bowed down to Denali over here, which we'll talk about in a minute, and gotten sent home. But because she was kind, because she was congenial, and because she was just a good person, she got to go to the finale, to the semifinals. We get to see her again next week. Let's talk about Denali. Denali disappointed me a bit. I feel like she was all confidence, and when she didn't get to where she needed to go, she was kind of just mad about it. I think that the first 2 weeks she did great, but this week, she did fine. But and her runways never missed. But it's just like, I understand why she didn't win this season of All Stars, and if I was betting on somebody to come back, it would definitely be Denali from this bracket. But at the same time, she wasn't a sore loser about losing the crown. And I think that speaks volumes to her. I am glad that Denali was here. I kind of wish that she had come back for a season that she could have been heavily favored in. But as Denali says, two things could be true at one time. Denali lost, but Denali won the hearts of a bunch of fans. So congratulations to Denali. No hate to Denali. I love Denali. Let's talk about Acid. Acid Betty. I was surprised. I was surprised that she was as nice as she was. Because on season 8, y'all couldn't have portrayed her in a more negative light. I know she sits up at night and thinks about how badly she treated Chi Devane, and about she probably wishes that she could go back and be kinder to Chi and all of that. And I'm not saying all this because I'm mad at you. I'm just saying it as a fact. She probably is like, I could have been a lot nicer. But as she said in the Untucked exclusive that they didn't air because why would they? Because storylines are for nerds. Y'all want storyline? Fuck you. You don't get it. Acid said that everybody was showering her with so much light and love, she couldn't secrete poison. So she had to adapt and learn that, hey, I'm in a safe space. And it's funny that she was a Doberman. Because dogs like Dobermans and Pit Bulls and Rottweilers and just like... Right, I hope that Dobermans are what I'm thinking about. Yeah. They get so much negativity and stuff in the media and press. Whenever you have like a guard dog, it's usually a Doberman or a Rottweiler or, a Pit Bull. And she was guarded and felt all of that. And when you have a dog like that, you gotta like treat them well, and you're not gonna be hurt. We love you. And now, Acid Betty's able to just relax. She was a little bit on the crazy train, but I think that her craziness was good. And her runways never missed. And I love her. I'm getting emotional about it because I just love Acid Betty. She's a cream. Finally, Alyssa Hunter. I am very confused as to why Alyssa was on this season. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I think it was because her looks from season 14, the ones that were unaired, 8, and I'm glad that she was on this season. I wouldn't have imagined Bracket 3 without her. But at the same time, she was a background character. I really feel bad saying that because she is, Puerto Rican, and, there's a language barrier there. But I feel like they really didn't give her a lot to work with. I feel like she was like a last resort pick for Drag Race, and that was sad. I love Alyssa. I just feel like she could have done a hell of a lot more better than what she did do. The 3 episodes that she was given, I don't think that she really was a good fit for any of the challenges. and they kind of played in your face. Um, Especially since I feel like she would have been more at home in bracket 1. And Deja probably would have been more at home here. You know, somebody who would have been able to do improv and comedy and design and, throw, more of a, you country vibe. I feel like Alyssa probably needed to be in bracket 1 of this, just because that's where all the fashion girls really were. But all of that to say, Alyssa Hunter, you did good on the runway. I enjoyed almost all of your runways. No, all of them. I will say that your Wicked runway wasn't necessarily the best, but hey, she did great on the runway, and her promo look is top tier. So moving forward into Demerge, we have Bosco, Irene, and Aja from bracket 1, Mistress Isabel Brooks, Lydia Butthole Collins, and Georges from bracket 3, and from bracket 2, and Diabetic Ginger Minge and Cynthia Lee Fontaine in bracket 3. Who are you guys rooting for? Next week's Snatch Game. So Ginger's gonna win that. But yeah. Next week is Snatch Game. Who are we rooting for? Who are we not rooting for? I know who I'm not rooting for. I'll let you know who that is when I can think of them, but I kind of don't want Mistress to win, and I don't think that she's going to. Lipstick in my Valentino white bag? No. What I think is about to happen is that Cynthia Lee Fontaine and probably Irene are gonna get cut. We're gonna bring back, like, Deja Sky or, Denali, and we're gonna see what they can do and how we're gonna do it. And then what's gonna happen is that the top 4 are gonna be Lydia, Bosco, Georges, and Ginger. I can already tell you that. And Ginger and either Georges or Lydia is going to be top 2. Bosco is great, don't get me wrong. I just feel like she's going to do her little big one. And then she's not going to make it. Mistress is going to be out first round. And what's going to happen is she's going to have to go up against Lydia Butthole Collins. And it's going to be last. Georges and Aja are going to be paired up. Aja's going to lose to Georges. Ginger and more than likely Denali. Denali's going to come back with a vengeance. It's going to be her and the Wildcard Queen. They're going to battle. And then Ginger gets to go over. And then Bosco and Daya are going to lip sync because they're season 14 sisters. Bosco's going to pew. Mistress is going to lose to Lydia. Georges is going to beat Aja. And then, depending on the matchup, Lydia versus Bosco, Lydia wins. Georges versus Ginger, I feel like would be a double save because RuPaul loves them both and probably couldn't pick. So if it's Ginger versus Bosco, Ginger. Georges versus Lydia, again, probably a top 3. Georges versus Bosco, Georges, Ginger versus Lydia, top 3. So that's my top 3. Georges, Lydia, and Ginger are my top 3. What do you guys think? Leave your comments down below. Don't send any hate to the queens. And I'll see you next week for Snatch Game. The fuck was that about? Bye, y'all.